John Constantine is kind of one of those underrated comics and characters that I really do enjoy, and I never carve out the time to go back and read Hellblazers and stuff like that. And Matt Ryan really kind of brought it back to the forefront because I thought his version in the CW was so spot on and so well done. I actually really enjoyed the first season until the very, very end, where it kind of got a little convoluted, but I always wanted more. And I don't hate the Constantine film with Keanu Reeves, but I will admit I was super, super shocked and surprised when I saw the fact that they are very clearly and seriously considering moving forward with a Keanu Reeves follow up. And I don't know. Okay, so Bounding has the quotes. It was easier to pull from there because they kind of pulled everything together for us. And this just has to do with some of the press stuff that was done with Francis Lawrence. He and Keanu and Akiva Goldman had been the brain trust that kind of got the first Constantine film done. And Keanu is bigger than life right now, right? With the John Wick series, things like that. But it also can't go on forever. So he probably is like, well, what else could I do? And I can feel like he and Francis kind of obviously hit it off well. And what was interesting is some of the language that Francis Lawrence is using. So let me read this to you. Me, Keanu Reeves, and writer Akiva Goldsman have tried over the years to wrangle some control of the character again because it had been handed over. I think NBC did a TV show. Well, first off, it is very. I want to make sure we read between the lines here because this is something that will come up over the course of all of the commentary from YouTubers that really kind of know how things operate. And that is, they don't watch other stuff. They don't watch your stuff. They don't watch. So when Francis Lawrence says, I think they did, I assure you, he did not watch that Constantine TV show. He has no desire to watch that Constantine TV show. It is beneath him. They don't have other things to do. So when you pick up those little breadcrumbs, just kind of pack those away as one of those examples that you know how they do things. It's more like they're doing what they want to do, just so you know. Okay. Then J.J. Abrams was going to try and do something. I don't know if I did a video on that, but that was definitely 100% confirmed that Abrams was going to do something. Well, that's completely dead. The regime at DC changed, and they've got their plans. Luckily, we managed to wrangle some control and started working on some ideas for Constantine 2, which we're really excited about. So what that trolley translates to is they don't care about Constantine right now. That Matt Ryan, the Gunverse, what they're working on doesn't involve Constantine. If they want to have some little licensing or some little side thing that they can kind of make some cash on, it is probably in their best interest to do so. They need some liquid cash. I've long said that my biggest thing with DC is I don't understand how they can do this. They don't have any money to do this. They have no money for a 10-year plan. They have no money for all of these projects that James Gunn is spouting off about. There's not that much liquid cash. They are losing money. They're bleeding cash month after month after month, quarter after quarter after quarter. So anyway, that is what that all translates to is they want to do a Constantine project the way they want to do it. They don't care about source material. They don't care about Matt Ryan. They don't care about Gunverse. It's like a licensing thing. This is what we're talking about. Okay. It's still the very beginning as the strike put it on hold for a little bit. We're probably going to start back together after Thanksgiving and dig back in and try to take a crack at it. So the article just shows different photos and things like that. There's really not much here to go on other than that. There is a comment that they cite back on what is called Bro Bible's post-credit podcast. And it's like, quote, those kinds of dark DC characters, Vertigo characters, have bounced around a bit, and we've tried to gain control. We finally have, and Keanu, I, and Akiva Goldsman, who did the movie together originally, are batting around ideas, but we've got sort of halted by the strike. However, we are actively coming up with ideas to create a part 2, and it will be very rated R. So, again, they're not interested in using it. We want to use it. We want to make our own thing. We're trying to come up with ideas. So they probably have a timeline. So the other thing too that is factored is they probably have, I don't know exactly the intricacy. I haven't read one of these kind of contracts probably like over 10 years, but I did read one time that said they had to have the pitch or probably the 45-page treatment or something in by, let's say, a year, and they had to have it done within like 3 years, and you had to pay X amount, and all these different kinds of things are in there. So expect some of that. And I gotta be honest, this is part of what that company could do to create some money again, to fund some of these other projects and try to make some good content. So let's see. Okay, so this was comments about Constantine himself and being a rated R product, trying to set aside the tone being different, and John's aging would be a factor to play a role in the sequence narrative. So in other words, probably a time jump or something like that, right? So without spilling too much, I would say yes. My instinct is, as of now, the idea we have is that we are not pretending that this is, what happens 2 weeks after the last Constantine, but this is an older version of John Constantine. Okay, so they're very self-aware. Keanu is not interested. Here, again, this is personal opinion. Keanu Reeves at this point has FU money. He has FU control. He is probably on the short list of movie stars. I'm not saying he alone can sell a blockbuster movie per se, because I don't think that's necessarily the case, but he probably could sell an action movie and certain types of movies. This being one, it's rated R, so I'm not sure it would open super strong, but if you could come up with the right characteristics and maybe a couple of cast members or things that could be intriguing, this could open very, very strong and do very, very well. But he's not wearing dots for a motion capture. He's not doing the D8. He might do a scene or two, but he's not doing a whole freaking feature through all of that. So these are just different images and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the gist. I don't know, where are you at on having another Keanu Reeves Constantine? I'm very sour on this. I'm willing to give anything a shot at this point, because I felt like the Constantine movie has aged well in the era of crappy stuff that Disney and them have done and saturated the market. The DC stuff is not a whole lot better, that's for sure. So could it be okay? Probably. I have such low expectations at this point. It's not what I really want, because I think Matt Ryan is the direction that I would go. I don't even have a problem of paying homage to Keanu Reeves' version in some way, shape, or form, especially in the wake of the Flash thing. It seems like this is all excuses to do some stuff like that. But, all right. Anyway, love to hear from you guys. Tell me what you guys think. Take care, everybody. I am Pops.